welcome to another week of the Bentley Portrait Show here on Channel 19. This week I'm doing a portrait of a dog. It's kind of new, something I don't really do a lot of, but I figured I'd do it just to do something kind of different for this week. The paper that I'm doing it on is Strathmore paper, which you can get at Plaza Art Store, Jerry's Artarama, or some place like that. It's with soft pastel and with color pencils. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to go to my website, which is bentleys.org, or you can give me a call at area code 615-463-7319. But without further ado, we'll get on with the portrait. And I hope you enjoy. Alright, that was a picture of the dog that I'm doing. This portrait's done on Strathmore paper, which you can get from most art stores. As I start out here, what I'm doing is I'm laying in the foundation as far as the white fur. I'm not necessarily putting in individual strands, just kind of putting in an color, an area, and then I will go to the top of that as far as strands here or there, just to give the idea of it being fur. Now I'm going in with the eyes. I'm going in with a dark brown, which would be the underlying color for the eye, and then I'll add in highlight, do the pupil, and then add a highlight to that. I'm going in with the eyes next, just to sort of kind of get an idea of where I'm at as far as in the portrait. The part here that I'm adding now is the kind of a rust brown that is for the patches that's on the left and right side of his jowl there, and this I'm laying down white fur. And here what I did was I decided that I would kind of go in dark and then go over the top of the dark pastel with light pastel as far as the highlights and so forth. A lot of people ask what type of pastel is good to use. I use whatever I can pretty much get my hands on. Some quote-unquote professional artists, want you to get only the best this or that, and it makes a difference to a certain degree. But as far as pastels with me, it kind of comes down to technique and knowing how to apply the colors. And what I do is I use pastel sticks, pastel pencils rather, for detail, as far as like eyes and little small details that you necessarily can't get with a pastel stick, depending on what size your painting is that you're doing. But I use soft pastels and pastel pencils. It's also good to have like a kneaded eraser and sandpaper that you can sand your pencil leads with to sharpen them. And that's pretty much about it. And I guess a blade, a blade too comes in handy. An X-Acto knife or something like that, or just a regular blade. Okay, now I'm going in doing the nose. I started out with just kind of a gray initially, and then just kind of went dark with the nose. But it's different ways. I could have went just all black with the nose and just went with a gray for the highlights. Now, as you can see, I've kind of added in the fur to the rest of the nose. I mean, not the nose, but the fur. Now what I'm doing now is I'm going in with the background, because that's going to kind of dictate how dark or light I need to go in some areas. So I opted to use green for the background, and on the left hand side here I'm gonna make it darker. So there I added some brown at the top, and I'm gonna add in some blues, as you can see there, and this gradually go a little darker. And your background is always going to dictate how light or dark you need to go in your foreground, as far as your main subject. Since I'm adding blue in the background, I'm adding a little blue to the fur, a little green here and there. And now I'm just going back into the eyes and kind of reiterating them. And as you can see there, the black of his eye kind of blends in with the black of his fur. So what I'm doing is I'm going to add a gray in just to kind of do the eyelid to kind of separate the two, as you can see there. And I'm doing the other eye, which I didn't pan the camera over to, and zoomed out. And with this particular strathmore paper that I'm using, it has small holes in it, but not holes, but I guess indents. And so some of the pastel didn't fall into some of those small indents into the paper, so I had some parts that wouldn't cover, so I went ahead and smoothed everything in, and then just when we went back over with the rust patch over the dog's eyes. I'm just kind of redoing the nose and that's how it's kind of coming together. Now I'm going over the dark with the highlighted areas as far as the fur, and doing the bottom part here. Whatever colors you have, if it's a person, clothes, or whatever you're doing, it's always kind of good to have some of those colors into the background, so everything kind of matches, makes the whole painting harmonious. And if you have any questions, be sure to go to my website, which is bentleysportraits.org. You can contact me there by way of email, or you can leave comments here on this YouTube page, and be sure to subscribe to my videos. And my numbers, area code 615-463-7319 or 463-7333. And my name's Kevin Bentley, and you're looking at an excerpt video from my show that comes on in Nashville, Tennessee on Channel 19. This is a bit of a sped up version, but it kind of gives you the idea as far as if you want to do a portrait, say, of a dog. And that's about it. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye.